Welcome to the Root of Power podcast, where I teach you how to step into your power, find alignment, and create a life that you love using holistic methods, interviews with industry leaders, and inspiring stories from people who know that true freedom is found within. I'm your host and health and wellness bestie, Amanda Chills, and I'm so proud of you for choosing to step into the root of your power. Good morning, afternoon, nighttime. Let me not assume when y'all listen to these episodes. Anyway, hello. Nice to meet you virtually or talk to you again. I am so glad that you allow me this space to support you and help you. And if there's anything I can do, please reach out. Instagram at Amanda_Chills or the website livemyhappyhealth.com. I wanted to let you guys know I am taking coaching clients. So if you have a goal that you are struggling to reach, or you're like, I don't really know, something is wrong, but I don't really know what to do, hit a girl up. livemyhappyhealth.com/contact. And perhaps I can support you. So my dudes, Zach is one of the nicest people that I know. He went through losing his father quite young and has really, I don't want to say healed from it because I can't speak about his healing, but he seems to have really found a way to honor that journey and to move forward. And he is just lovely. Y'all are going to hear it. So hang back, relax, or don't, whatever you want to do with your life. And you get to hear about Zach's journey into building his own business and trying to integrate into the community and really finding a way to move on after a pretty tragic accident with his dad. And you'll hear about his resiliency and his strength. And as always, I hope that it helps you. All right, let's get started. Okay, y'all, welcome to the Root of Power podcast. Welcome back, fam. I am here with a local guy who is killing it right now in his business. We are so stoked about it. Zach Frye, who has a really powerful story about why he got started doing what he's doing. So you guys are going to hear all about that. You're going to hear about the shoot for the moon dreams that he's got this year and how he's really grown as a person and as a business owner. So welcome, Zach.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. This is the first podcast I've ever done, so hopefully I don't choke. Well,
if you do, it's going live anyways. So
hey, so be it. Thanks for saying I'm not cool, by the way.
Right. No, you are cool, but your story is...
Yeah.
Is not cool, yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, I know what you mean. So
will you tell us a little bit about you and what you do?
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely like a weird hybrid kid. I was kind of like growing up, I was the kind of played sports. I did I guess you could call it being a jock, but I was also into like art, and I was in like every semester taking an art class, and my mom and dad were pretty big into, I think dad was a landscape architect, and mom she went to school for like just basically art education. But yeah, I was going through high school, it was funny. I mean, we'd be playing in a football game or a baseball game on Friday nights, and I'd be doing art projects the whole weekend and just hanging out with friends. And I was always a very chatty Cathy, and had a lot of. I mean, I don't know about the popular kid, but we had some fun. But yeah, I mean, got to college. Tried to do the sport thing in college, but my brother, he went to East Carolina University, and I'd been down there a couple weekends and hung out with him, and I quickly decided that the private school, smaller school stuff was no fun compared to to the crazy ECU lifestyle. So
Right.
we went there, I majored. I didn't know what the heck I wanted to do. Um, I mean, I think a lot of kids go through that.
Mhm.
And I took some art classes. I technically was a graphic design major going into college. And I still didn't really find my passion because I didn't know what the heck I wanted to do. And I was kind of like we're doing right now, sitting at a computer desk doing art and trying to get used to the computer software. And it wasn't clicking. Like I was used to just working with my hands all the time and kind of just really just I was getting bored.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be strapped into a computer desk all day and that was some I'd always work with my dad every summer like doing landscaping, and I was like used to being in the heat, sweating, and kind of always using my hands and feet. And then I guess junior year I took a class that was the screen printing. It was like an introduction to screen printing, which was like making the T-shirts and we started printing on like posters. Just kind of how we learned how to do it. And
posters are cheaper than T-shirts. So
yes, if you ruin a piece of paper, it's not near as expensive as a T-shirt. So
right.
But yeah, it was cool because like we. It was one of those things where I was like, man, I can do the design on the computer and like draw it, whatever it may be, and then I can actually get on my feet and print it, and push the squeegee back and forth, and kind of just bounce around a little bit, and kind of going back to being one of those hybrid kids. It was a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I quickly fell in love with that, and that was really cool. And then I did the whole fraternity thing in school, and the older guys were like, "Oh, Zach's an art major. He's the artsy fartsy guy. He's gonna make our T-shirts."
Yeah.
And, so I didn't know how to make a T-shirt, and
but you knew how to print posters.
I knew how to print posters, but oh yeah, it's funny looking back at all the the trial and error kind of stuff. I mean, I remember. Because if you don't cure a shirt at like 320 degrees, the ink will just fall out, like when you wash and dry it. So
I think it's a lot more scientific than most people know.
Oh yeah, and I'm not scientific at all. I suck at math. I suck at science. YouTube and a lot of stuff was kind of the hey, let's figure out what this is all about.
Yeah.
But luckily, and this is kind of small world, coming back to Ashboro. I knew a guy named Mike Wheelis here at Ink and Stitches, and he'd done our senior shirts in high school. And I was like, hey, how about I design a really cool design and you print it?
Yeah.
And so he was all on board, I mean, more money in his pocket, more money in my pocket. And
right.
He was like, he was just like, hey, I'll do it for this. And it was really cheap compared to what other people were doing stuff for. And heck, I would do it any other young entrepreneur did. I'd charge, $5 extra a shirt. Because, I mean, it was my artwork. So, you can't put a price tag on that. So we were just, we sold a bunch of shirts and just kept doing designs. And sure enough, we did stuff for other organizations and other clubs. And I kind of started slowly saving up for equipment, and I'd come home every summer and work for my dad, and I'd even put more money in the bank just trying to slave away in the summer. And
so you knew quite young then that you wanted to own your own business.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, well, no, not necessarily. I feel like I kind of knew the screen printing path was what I wanted to do, or like just the apparel design. But I didn't know. I was still kind of young and didn't know if I wanted to take the big leap and start my own business. But I mean, it was kind of like a side hustle. It was honestly beer money to go downtown every weekend, more so. But but yeah, I mean, every kid's got a little saving account, and I just kind of just kept plugging away at that, and um, because Mike here at Ink and Stitches, he told me, he's like, man, like you're doing a lot of shirts, and I'm you're becoming one of our bigger clients, and you're a kid in college, so he's like, you probably should seriously maybe pursue about thinking about this as a career, and that's kind of when obviously when you sell 300 t-shirts and you look at the profit you made and you're like, whoa, I did this in 1 week. I mean, it would make me it would take a month or two working at the farm at Dad's trying to make this. So
Yeah.
I mean, you just kind of these experiences you go through, trials and tribulations, and figure out kind of what's what's good and what's bad. But
which is such a good metaphor for life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, like, everything, they're like, what do you think about this? And I'm like, life's an experiment. Try it. If it works, keep doing it. If it sucks, stop doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And my grandpa, I mean, he was another big mentor of mine. I mean, he did tell me, he was like, because he was like an engineer, like traveling around city to city building big job sites, and he was like, I don't care, Zach, if you go to be an art major. He basically thought I was gonna just like sell my life away being an art major. And I was like, he was like, well, but whatever you do, he's like, try to mass produce something. He's like, try to do something where, if you do come up with something cool, you can, take it to the next level and, produce it. And
good insight.
Yeah. And I was like, I mean, it could be a book. I mean, you could write, it could be, people selling books. It could be selling posters. It could be people selling whatever. But for me, I mean, it's kind of clicked with the t-shirt thing, and it's something cheap that, anybody can really afford. And I mean, it's everybody, I don't think t-shirts are going to go out of style anytime soon. So, that's kind of, it's one of those things. I don't care how bad the economy gets. I mean, people might go shirtless, but a lot of people won't. So
yeah, that's part of the apocalypse that I'm just not looking forward to, honestly.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool, just knowing how many shirts you could produce, and if you really set your mind to it, the big orders could happen, and I mean, it's not every order is going to be a huge cash crop, but I mean, heck, you might catch that one, make that one phone call that it's a really good order, and that's kind of what we're still doing today. We're just living it day by day, hoping we get that big order. And but yeah, I mean, so that was going. I mean, that was basically going into summer of my senior year. Like I went back home, worked for Dad. That was like my thing. I tried like doing summer school and kind of doing like I don't want to go back home. I want to like work at a summer job in town. It's just nothing. I don't care. You can call it cheesy, but there's no place like home. And I just love coming back home and seeing buddies and kind of just even working for my dad. I just like to come and kind of helping the family business out. But that so I was kind of doing like all those organizations we were printing for. They always thought my stuff kind of looked like its own brand, like it's kind of like its own little apparel brand. So that summer I really tried to focus on coming up with an apparel brand, just like I feel like every kid wants to, create the next Air Jordan or, come out with some cool clothing line that sells millions of shirts, but
only the artsy fartsy kits, but
yeah. So I was that was my thing. I was really big into I grew up at home on 40 acres. So like I was real big into the outdoors, and, like I wasn't a big hunter in high school, but just, I feel like with the older I got, the more I like just kind of hanging out and kind of like just whether it be sitting in a deer stand or duck blind or, fishing on a boat or fishing just at the pond. So like I kind of did this little fishing, hunting, outdoor adventure kind of brand theme called Windward Drift. And the whole Windward Drift thing is like basically, so windward is kind of like if you're on a boat and the wind against the boat is kind of like pushing you back to shore. So it's like all the stuff you can do on land, like you're hunting, like you're hiking, like going out in the woods, just being crazy. And then there's the drift part. That's just what pushes you out to sea. So that would be like your fishing, your more aquatic nautical stuff. So started that going into senior year summer, just kind of fooling with designs. And my dad, he was a big supporter of that because he was a real big avid scuba diver. And he just, he loved just kind of getting right there close to the fish underwater. And he wouldn't even really spearfish or nothing. He'd just kind of be down there going, just, it was like his release, kind of what got him away.
He's just like a merman.
Yeah, he was a merman. Exactly. Yep. And he was crazy. He got like super complicated with the diving. Like he would like use a rebreather, which is like recycling your air, and like he wouldn't have bubbles. And like when you're down underwater, so the fish think you're a fish.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like,
that's pretty advanced.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was, I can't remember what the furthest down he'd said he ever gone, but it was crazy. Like 200 plus feet. At least.
The normal scuba dive is like 60.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I got certified when I was like 12. Didn't really know what I was doing, and I just liked skimming on the surface. And I went down maybe 60 feet, but yeah, he was into it, man. But yeah, he's a senior going in that summer. I guess going into my I had to go back semester because I was doing the victory lap like a lot of these college kids do. And but I was a business minor too, so I had like 23 extra credit hours. So I was like kind of just had one more semester and then I was gonna be done. And but just like life, it throws you curveballs. Dang, Dad, he was down at the beach on a scuba diving trip, and that weekend kind of I was back home doing designs for the Wimmer Drift stuff, and kind of just I literally picked up some equipment to screen print to like just kind of hold in our garage, and drove down to Gastonia, saw some buddies, and picked up some equipment, some ad on Craigslist, and Dad was like, he helped me like take the equipment down the garage. It was big. He had to get a forklift, and we were like pulling it off, and he was in a rush because he'd get down to the beach, scuba dive, and so yeah, he went down, and needless to say, he never came back. It was pretty hard weekend, and you got your parents' best friend come knocking on your door, and they're in tears, and you don't know.
So he passed while he was underwater?
Yeah, that's crazy.
What happened?
So, like we were just talking about, he was a really advanced scuba diver, and we thought, first thing was, oh gosh, he messed up. Something went wrong with the equipment he was using, and that when you rebreathe your oxygen, you got to get really dialed in, like like a formula, like how long you can stay under, and it's technically it can get toxic because it's like carbon dioxide or CO2 and oxygen kind of mixed together. But that's what we first thought was, oh crap, he messed up, and but he had, most divers have like a bailout kind of oxygen tank, and he it was a big ordeal. And they took all his diving equipment in, examined it, and kind of like basically did an autopsy report on him and the equipment, kind of just how it all happened. And but yeah, he no signs of he never tried to use his bailout tank, or his equipment was all fine, intact. But they came back on the autopsy report and said he had I think 2 clogged arteries and enlarged heart, and said that your father probably had a heart attack underwater, and that's how he went. We don't know. Never said goodbye really, but at the same time, it was one of those things where he did what he was doing. He died doing what he loved doing, and it's kind of like I'm at peace with that, and I know he's as much as I love him to be here, he went out doing what he loved, and And
How long did it take you? I want to stay on your dad for a minute. Tell me when you no longer want to answer questions about him, but it's very unique to lose a parent in that way.
Right.
How long did it take you to come to peace with that?
Oh, I mean, I remember going to bed the night of. It's like, you're scratching your eyes, pounding your head, thinking, oh, this is just a dream, and it's it took a while to come to reality, to figure out that really happened, and that you wouldn't see your dad again. But I mean, yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for family and friends and all that support group, after grieving something like that and that'll happen, I mean, I don't know where I'd be. It's just they got me through, and the weird thing is, I mean, I mean, he taught me to be like work your ass off basically, and just take life with a grain of salt in a way, and that's kind of, it's weird as it sounds. I mean, that's kind of how I got through with a lot of it, was just, or got over it, or not over it, but just kind of dealt with the pain, and was just grinding out, doing the Wimmer Drift apparel brand, and kind of like, he started a business when he was out of college. I mean, he was just doing a landscaping business, but at the same time, I was like, I'm going to do that, it fueled the fire for sure. And I mean, there was some I mean, people say there's like paranormal stuff that kind of happens during all that. Like, I mean, we loved to listen to music, and I was like in the bathroom, and like this, I mean, I had an iPhone, but it was a very pre-gen iPhone, but it was weird. Like, I didn't really have iTunes or use iTunes much, but like I had some songs on there, and there was a song we liked, and I mean he wasn't a huge fan of it. I personally loved it. It was a Zach Brown Frye, and it was crazy. I was in the bathroom. And like, I mean, I was kind of in the bathroom, just kind of, I think, just kind of have a moment, just like I was kind of get away from, I think people were at our house, like, just, kind of just grieving with us, and kind of, and it was one of those things, I just got to get away, and I went to the bathroom just to kind of have a moment, and I might have cried a little bit, I don't know, and that song literally just came on in my pocket and on my phone, and like, it played, and it was weird. It was like you get cold chills go all the way down your body, and you're like, what the heck? And I mean, I don't care if you're a religious person or not. Like, that was a weird kind of, almost like that was him, like he was kind of like saying, hey, I'm free, I'm here for you, don't stress. But I hadn't told people a lot of that happened, but that was crazy. That's probably one of the craziest things that's like ever happened for us in a paranormal state like that. But yeah, I mean, I looked at it as, it's time for me to grow up a little bit. I mean, you got to put on your big boy pants, and you can't just, I mean, you can't dwell on the past and just, sulk and sulk. I mean, you got every right to, cry on somebody's shoulder, or, think about the good times you had with that person, and all the life you had together. But at the same time, you gotta move on eventually. And I mean, it's not like I don't go see them or, talk to them still. But I mean, I think it was him just trying to say, hey, it'll be all right,
Yeah. And I think you're right. There is a difference. I call it living in their trauma. Like, It is a choice to move on. And I deal with a lot of people who don't really know what that looks like, which is totally fair, right? You go through something totally unexpected and devastating, and you're like, what am I supposed to do with my life? Like, what does life look like after this thing, after this traumatic experience? And a lot of people don't know what to do, which is totally fair. Like, how would they know? How would you know how to live life without your dad? You've never had to do it.
Right.
But I do find that there's a difference between people who have a really devastating experience and choose, because it is a choice. And I'm sure you had to make that choice so many times where you say, I'm going to choose to move forward. I'm going to choose
to allow myself the space for this pain and grieving and sadness, but I can't stay there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, um, yeah, it's a balancing act. I mean, you gotta kind of, if you just totally block it out, that's definitely not healthy. You're just like,
right.
You're like, okay, well, maybe I think that's why people turn into alcoholics,
Yeah, if the next day you're like, it doesn't affect me at all, and it's like, talk to me in 6 months when you're never sober. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think that's why people drink, or do other things is, that does kind of, take them away from that grief. But, I mean, I don't know if it's how the biggest thing, the older I've gotten, I've definitely learned that, everybody's different and like you're not like everybody's wired different. And, gosh, think of it today. How the world's so freaking, torn apart and everyone's so divided. It's like, I get it. You got your own beliefs and stuff, but man, like come together, man. Like everybody's different, but you can't be stubborn enough to realize that somebody's different, like different for a reason, And it's, I don't know if it's being that hybrid guy that's a little artsy, a little bit of jock, a little bit of this, but like I really feel like I can relate to almost anybody, or I might not have gone through what you've been through, but like it's just like I'm understandable and
empathy is a skill. Like it's a skill that you practice. Do I want to empathize with some people? Not the people wearing 6 million wasn't enough shirts, but like I just have no empathy for those people. But like most people, yes. Some people, for me, I ain't empathizing with shit. Right. It's a different podcast.
Yeah. You definitely got to kind of. It's like stuff you see on Facebook or something. It's like, could I comment on that? Yes.
Oh God.
Should I? No.
If no one hears anything I say tonight, get off of Facebook for your mental health.
Yeah.
Just get off of it. So lost your dad. How old were you? You would have been 22-ish when he passed?
Yeah, I was.
How old are you now?
I'm 28. So yeah, that was like 6 years ago. So whatever that is.
What's it like now versus what's it like then? For people that maybe had a recent loss and they're like, oh my God, am I going to experience this forever? Like, what is it?
Talking about now versus then, like kind of like
6 years later versus maybe like 1 year later.
Right. It's sad to say, but you definitely. I feel bad saying it, but you don't think about them as much. I guess that's normal. That's normal.
Yeah.
And it's more of like, I remember thinking about, trying to replay what happened in my mind like that, for the next years after that, happened, and kind of like the what ifs thing, oh man, like what if I stressed Dad out trying to get, help him get that equipment off the truck for me, and so he can get off to the beach. And it's like, you don't blame yourself, but I definitely kind of did like, what if, had that what if kind of mentality for a while. And, but going back to the, just the friends being there for you and the family, it's like, that, they're the ones making you still laugh and still kind of get over that loss. And if I didn't have friends and family, gosh, it might still be bad, but
yeah. I think the importance of having a community is something it's talked about a lot in like grieving circles, but trauma isolates you. When you go through something traumatic, you've gone through something not very many people understand.
Right.
And I find that it's hard. It's so easy to withdraw and to go into self. And it's I think in what am I trying to say? Sorry, in like phases like that, you need someone who's going to reach out and say like, I don't know what you're going through, but I'm not going to let you be your own island. Does that make sense?
Yeah. For two, there's definitely some things like, I can go to a particular part of the house or even like on that 40 acres that we have and automatically like, think of Pops or something, and I think that's good to have that.
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah, but like, I think it kind of, like at the time, it's like, all right, you need to hang out with your friends and family, let them kind of help you and do things like I was saying, work kind of got me like motivated to kind of like start my own path and do what my dad did and, just kind of blaze my own trail type deal. And that probably for sure is like, if I ever feel bad, it's like, all right, let's do a design. Let's turn that negativity into like a cool design, or let's turn that into, what?
Distraction has its place.
Yeah, I mean it's just like anger. I mean, it's like, do I want to punch this person? Kind of, but no, I'm gonna just take it out in a rap song, or I'm gonna go listen to my songs in the car really loud, whatever your music.
When you like write raps, I was like, drop a beat right now.
Hey, if it was this time on a Friday, I might.
I'll tell you, the process I go through not to punch people in the face is like this. So I go, self, do you want to be an asshole? And then I'm like, yeah, no, I do. I definitely do. And then I'm like, self.
Yes.
Do you really want to? And then I'm like, no. Like a teenager where it's like, no. And I'm like, yes. It's so hard not to just.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that's for another podcast. I feel like this is good stuff.
Dude, podcasts are the funnest because I never know where they're going. I'm just like we talked before we hit record. I'm like, here's the points I want to hit, but it's like I need the 2 pieces of bread, but like the stuff that makes up the sandwich.
Oh yeah, that's what happens. I mean,
maybe it'll be marshmallow fluff and Cheetos. Maybe it'll be ham and Swiss cheese. Like I don't really know what it's gonna be made up of.
Yeah, I mean,
that's exciting. What's the weirdest sandwich you've ever eaten?
Sandwich. So you're gonna call me crazy, but I'm not like give a secret, and it's actually a good secret because I never thought it was good.
Everybody, listen up. Secret sandwich.
So, like I said, I like the outdoors, and we like camping out and stuff. And we were camping out one time. We had bread, and so I took a Slim Jim. This is actually. Dad had a part of this, actually, now to think about it, because he got me and my brother on eating Slim Jims when we were little. Like the things you buy at the grocery store. Yeah. Well, if you put one on a stick and put it over the fire, it melts all the grease off and like all the nastiness, the stuff that's bad for you, and it basically turns it into a sausage link. And it's awesome. So we did like 2 or 3 of those and put some cheese on it and put it on a sandwich one time, and it was awesome. It was like a sausage cheese sandwich. Very weird. But it was good.
That's weirder than I thought.
Yeah. Pretty weird. I'm an art major. Yeah, I get pretty weird too. So.
Strange bird.
Strange bird. Yeah.
Oh man.
I've ate my fair share of birds too.
You what?
So I've ate my fair share of birds too. You take a duck hunting, you got your mallard, your geese, I go on. I can tell you a lot of good recipes for some sandwiches.
Do you put Slim Jims on them? Like, do you stuff the birds with Slim Jims and then wrap them?
Usually wrap them around in bacon. That's the best.
And Slim Jims. Like that's.
No, I haven't thought of that with the duck part, but that really would take it to a whole other level.
Probably a whole other level. Probably would. You're like, stuff it with lemons. No, we stuff with Slim Jims up in this.
Yeah. But that's that's probably not good. That's probably just I was talking about high blood pressure and all that. It's probably not good to do that, but hey, do it while you're young, I guess.
I guess so. Balance it? I don't know. So 28 now, have owned a business for 5 or 6 years. Yeah. You just merged last year, right, with Ink and Stitches?
Yep. We bought. I mean, gosh, we were. It was cool. We were looking for we were busting at the seams at the old shop. I mean, we were. We had tractor trailers coming in with pallets of T-shirts, and they were wondering where our loading dock was. And
you're like, out front.
Yeah, I was like, we're just going to unload them all by hand. Sorry. And that sucked because on Church Street, right there where Sunset is, in
Mm.
downtown Asheboro, that's a busy area.
Yeah.
And it was like 3 o'clock when people were starting to get off work. And I remember he stopped, and he basically had to put a road cone out and stop traffic. And we probably unloaded 20 boxes of T-shirts and
Wow.
just like kind of like an assembly line. Just here you
Yeah.
go, here you go. And but it was funny. That was definitely like a man. Where are we gonna put these shirts on the roof? We didn't know, but we it worked. I mean, but then the my girlfriend Casey, she was like, she's very reserved, and I'm like really go out there and get it kind of guy.
Yeah.
She was like, you just need to take advantage of the space, as much space as you got while you got it, and just take full advantage. And I was like, okay. And I mean, 6 months later, I was like, we have no more space. So, I mean, it was crazy. You couldn't even hear yourself thinking there. But
It was so small you had to go outside to change your mind.
yeah, exactly. And eat a Slim Jim sandwich. So
Slim Jim.
um,
Anyone tries it, and listen, if anyone tries it, just friggin' tag us on Instagram and be like, Slim Jim sandwich for life.
I don't think anyone's gonna do this.
Do you remember when people used to drink? Oh God, this was disgusting. I don't know if you're a dude and dudes watch a lot of YouTube. I'm stereotyping, but it's fine. You remember when people do the rat challenge where they would put a dead rat in a liquid and then drink it?
I never saw that.
I remember that. Anyway, don't do that. But
Yeah.
the Slim Jim challenge.
That sounds like a new strand of COVID just waiting to happen.
Probably. You
Oh,
were bursting at the seams looking for a bigger space.
yeah. So Mike, I mean, obviously me and Mike and Penny at Ink and Stitches had a real good relationship just from kind of outsourcing things to them in college. And Mike had always kind of like joked around about it, like, just come take my job,
Yeah.
here, you can just come, just come buy me out. And
He was like low key serious though. He's like,
oh yeah, very serious. And he's 57. He's kind of getting burned out a little
he
bit.
wants to retire.
Yeah, he's wanting to retire, kind of. And his kid, I mean, he's trying to be there for his kids. I get it. And I was like looking at spots, just I kind of, I mean, yet again, you want to blaze your own trail. Like, I don't want to just like take them over and just like kind of like not like I was kind of like almost like too humble to be like I didn't want to do that for a time.
Yeah.
I want to build my own shop. I want to keep like have my own clientele that I built from the ground up and carry that on. And but I mean, theoretically it's a small town, and it's like let's just embrace the small town business.
Yeah.
And heck, if we can gain that by taking over Ink and Stitches and take my business that I've already started and my clientele and their clientele and make one big superhero, I mean, I was like, heck yeah. So
yeah, super shop.
Yeah, super shop. But it was one of those. I mean, obviously it came down to numbers and trying to figure out if it was worth it. And,
yeah.
That's.
What have you found? So it's been a year? I'm really bad at timelines.
Yeah, in January, we tried to do it like a smooth transition. So January 1 of 2020, we went into here at the Ink and Stitches spot.
Oh my God, dude, happy anniversary.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, I was probably here, I guarantee it, I was here probably a year ago, probably like fixing these floors or putting up these walls. Like, I mean, we did a lot.
Show us the sign behind you, by the way.
Yeah. So
good.
I think I can turn my computer screen.
Ah, it looks good.
I actually shout out to URA Charter Academy. Their wood shop actually did that with a CNC machine.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Kids are I wish I had that stuff when I was growing up, but
holy cow, that's cool.
Yeah. So hopefully all those kids will be making millions of dollars one day. But
yeah, remember me.
Yeah, remember me. But yeah, I mean, we just, I mean, one thing I wanted to do is just, and that's kind of, it's still kind of going into this year, is just, I mean, make it I mean, it was real cluttered.
Here we go. Tell me about your dreams for this year. Because when we first pressed, oh my God. Okay, so after a day of clients, like my brain stops working. So we're recording this at like 8:15 at night. Thank you for being here so late.
Yes.
But my mouth stops working. So like, what was I saying? So before we pressed record, I was like, Zach, tell me your big dreams for the year. And Zach was like, we do it on record. Tell us your big dreams for the year.
Well, I mean, you look at, I guess as the year goes by here, we were kind of like, what have we done? I mean, first we embraced what had happened, we did all this good. And, there's always that, what can we do better? And I think anybody should do that, whether it be their own life goals or their own just achievements, whatever. But that's kind of what I did. And, I think luckily I'm pretty good friends with some of the guys that work here. And I think we sat down and had a couple beers and kind of were like, hey, what do you guys want? Because, I mean, I'm all about the employees too, making them want to be here. I was like, is there anything for 2021 you guys want to, have and try to do better and more money? So we'll spend more money. Yeah, but I did. I think that's one of the first things. I gave my guys a raise. And they want like a break area, like one of those like canopies that they can like have a grill under and stuff. I was like, I'm not gonna bring the grill, but I can get you some sort of canopy or something.
They're like, here's our lunch break. We're grilling hot dogs.
Yeah, I mean,
Slim Jims. Oh, no, that's so perfect.
Yeah, we better get sponsored by Slim Jim after this.
I hope so.
But no, going back to us though, I mean, we've got a real big printing press in the back, and it's an automatic press. It's like the spaceship. I mean, it's like 17.
It looks like a spaceship now. Yeah, for real. That's true.
Huge. But we got it because I mean there's definitely some big orders, recurring orders that we have that require that you probably need something like that to kind of keep on schedule and hit deadlines, and so it's good in the crunch time and when you have a lot of these big orders go. But I would love it sits too much, so I think we're going to try to bring on a salesperson and kind of hit the Greensboro / High Point, even in the Triad. We'll just call it Triad.
You're just taking over. It's fine. I'm here for it.
Well, it's if you pay that much money for a printing press, it's like, man, I'd hate to see it sit and collect dust.
Right. They're like, make me more money. What is the number one thing you've had to overcome, or like talking like mindset or learning how to deal with people, or what's like the number one thing that you've had to overcome being an entrepreneur?
Well,
or being a successful boss, because they're not always hand in hand.
No. Yeah, that's the thing, is a lot of stuff. I mean, some stuff goes in hand, but like I thought, well, I hate so okay.
Just be honest, it's a safe space.
It's a safe space. But like if you get somebody coming in and you kind of know them and they're like good to talk to, I'll see myself talking to them for. I've had people in here for 2-3 hours at a time, and like it doesn't seem like it because we're doing what me and you are doing, just talking.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, you look at your watch and 2 hours have gone by, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I was supposed to make 3 calls, do this other thing over here, and so like time management. I mean, I still have tried to tackle that and suck at it, and that's why I'm here right now at 8:00 at night, because I couldn't manage my time till 5 when normal people get off work, so I'm here till 8. So
it's a lot of boundary work, though. A lot of people don't like.
Oh no, and that's what pisses me off. And I can say F you millennials because I'm a millennial myself. But like people just think it's gonna fall out of the sky. No, it's not gonna fall out of the sky unless you're Bill Gates' son or I guess Donald Trump's kids. But like, I mean, you gotta work your butt off. It's like, and I'm a little old school too. But like, man. You gotta work, and you gotta. I mean, you gotta grind it out. And I mean, if you want to sell pins to a freaking pen store. I mean, you got to make the best damn pen and handcraft it and sell it and do all this crap that no one else is doing. Be different.
How do you grind it out when you don't want to? Because that's a very specific skill.
Yeah. See, that's the thing is I want to do this. I come to work wanting to do work. I like being here. I like printing t-shirts. I like design. I like being artsy. I like doing, I mean, that's just, I don't know, it's just me.
So maybe one of the secrets then is that you, hopefully, not everyone can do this, but you try to either find work that you enjoy or you just find parts of your work that you enjoy. Like, I'm sure there's parts that you don't like. Like, I hate dealing with insurance or doing paperwork. Like, God, it makes you want to jump off a bridge. But, like, if I want to do what I want to do, then I have to do the things I have to do.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and it's a balancing act. I mean, you kind of, I got this, I mean, I'm a hairstylist. I keep a planner every day, and it has very detailed, oriented things that keep me on schedule. Try to. It gets all sidetracked, but there's like a part of my day that's like the busy work. You know, take care of bills or take care of the insurance or take care of if you got to figure out like first year we had no business cards, and I was like, crap. We need business cards. So I just I put it in my planner and said, hey, we got to have an hour or 2 hours out of the day where we design / print some cool business cards.
Yeah. Did you guys print them yourself?
Well, I wish we did, but no, we sent them off to a very popular company. It rhymes with Smista Smith.
You don't want them to sponsor you either?
I don't want that. But we are sending some to Village Printing too for some sales reps because we're getting a sales rep. So,
dude, that's exciting.
Yeah, we're and that's a thing. You can't just go into we need a sales rep. Like you got to figure out why you need a sales rep and where. Like you got to make a curriculum. It's kind of like thank God for QuickBooks because you can break down the month to month and see kind of what you did that month. And so, I mean, basically I'm basically just treating it like, analytics and say, hey, this is where we're at this time last year. We need to be here.
Yeah. Very cool, my dude.
I don't know. I'm not very, I actually did kind of like math. I never really was good at math because I would just think way into it. But I guess it kind of goes back if you love the business and you love kind of what you're doing and you've been there and you know how to do it, then you kind of know what to expect and
So 4 or 5 years in, you also have a lot of data. Like the beautiful thing about those accounting platforms is they keep your data so you don't have to. And it's I don't have to actually do math. QuickBooks will do it for me. Oh my God, yes. So maybe one of the secrets is find things that make your life easier when it's stuff you hate to do.
Yes, it's called automation.
Automation.
Yes.
Nation. So we're about at time. How do people find you? If they're like, dude, Zach is so cool. I want to be cool like Zach, and I want to buy shirts. How do people find you?
Well, the old World Wide Web's a good place. So we got a website.
For younger people, it's the internet.
Yeah. www. What is it? I think it's the-warehouse.com, and it's WEAR, like you wear it.
Very clever, by the way.
Yeah, I thought of that driving down 220 coming back from school, and then I thought it was just a me and me only thing, but there's a ton of places called the Warehouse. Not just the Warehouse like we are, but there's Men's Warehouse. That's spelled like it. And here in Asheboro, there's a Clothes Warehouse. And I didn't know Clothes Warehouse was spelled like that, but it's like that.
I've never noticed that.
Yep. You don't notice it until you have your own name that has the same thing.
Great idea, though. I find that I get some of my best ideas while driving. Are you that way too?
Oh, yes, for sure.
One time I called my sister. I used to drive for work a lot. 4 hours a day I would drive. So I called my sister one morning and I was like, Angela. And she was like, Why are you yelling at 7 a.m.?
It's too early.
She's like, it's too early and you're yelling. Because I
Right.
always yell when I'm on the phone when I get excited. I just yell when I'm excited, like a small puppy. And I was like, Angela! And she was like, what, you psycho? And I was like, you need a cupcake truck. That's what I was just telling her, like, why she needs to start a freaking mobile cupcake business. And I had, like, such a good name for it. It was, like, the sweet tooth or the sweet truck or sugar truck. I don't know, whatever.
Right.
And I was just like, you need to start this. And she was like, yeah, I'll get right on that, Amanda. She never did.
Yeah. I've got the,
If she's listening to this, you need a cupcake truck.
yeah. And when
I called her a few months ago and I was like, Angela. And she was like, what do you want? And I was like, we're going to start a champagne bar and call it Bubbles. And she was like, okay.
That's awesome.
It would be really fun, though. Like a champagne bar.
I mean, there's been times where I've thought of stuff like that, and then I'll forget, and that's when you really hit yourself. It's like, what was that? Like, that could have been $1 million idea.
So smart. I'm so smart. And then I forget how smart I am. Yeah.
Put it. Oh, I literally have a note section in my phone.
Oh, don't even. Yeah, listen. So David wants to start a brewery. So I have literally like 50 beer names. Listen, if anyone wants me to name a business or come up with a clever slogan for them, just friggin' DM me. Like, I love it. But that's, again, a separate conversation. So we have brilliant ideas when we're driving. They find you at the-warehouse.com. You're located in Ashboro for anyone that needs screen printing.
Yes. Yeah, we're downtown on South Fayetteville Street, next to the prison, actually.
Woohoo!
It's weird to say, but people know where you're at when you tell them you're beside the prison.
I mean, fair.
But, I mean, I don't know why people know where the prison is. Maybe they've been there. I don't know, but hey.
You just go there to have sandwiches.
Yeah, whatever. But I think Instagram is probably our biggest platform.
What's your handle?
I think it's the.warehouse. I'm pretty sure.
You don't even know? I'm gonna check for you.
Yeah, I think it's on my card. Yeah, there you go, right there.
Not everyone's gonna watch it on video, you weirdo.
Oh yeah.
WEAR house. There we go.
Yep.
The.warehouse.
Okay.
For people on YouTube, they're gonna be like, it's fuzzy. What do you want to leave our people with? So they've stuck with us this long. Kudos to everyone who does. And if you got off early, we hate you, although you can't hear it. What do you want to leave people with?
Well, I mean, I had too many friends that kind of were like, it's not like, I mean, they were like kind of multi-personalities in a way. It's like, you know, like, I don't care who you're around or how ritzy or how, you know, trashy or whatever it may be, like who you're hanging out with, but like just be yourself and like just, I don't care. I mean, and especially today's time, I mean, people can be themselves and it's acceptable and like just, I like that. And I like that, you know, you can blaze your own trail and I mean, it's still America. You can still have the American dream and do kind of, you know, that thing of trying to go out there and work for it. And I mean, I kind of preached on that too. And, you know, so just be yourself.
How do people do that?
I mean,
how do you do it? How do you know when it's yourself versus not yourself?
Well, thinking of like occupation wise, I think work wise, you know, it's like you said not everybody, it's hard to do that. But if you can go to wherever that place is you call a job and it feels like it's not the biggest pain in the ass, it's still gonna be a pain in the ass. But like, if you can make it not a pain in the ass, like maybe half the time,
yeah,
slowly work to 60% of the time. I mean,
or work to finding where you do enjoy it. So a lot of people, I think, stay miserable because they're like, well, I don't know what's better than this, and I'm like, probably anything.
Right.
Work towards it.
And but like, yeah, I mean, if you be yourself and you kind of, I mean, yeah, I feel like I'm talking to my teenage self, not knowing what the heck I wanted to do. But like, I mean, just.
So follow your passions?
Yeah, I mean, and don't think it's a stupid idea. I mean, some people think like, oh, you know, making balloons is stupid. But man, there's a lot of clowns that make balloons that probably make some pretty good dang money. I mean, whatever. I mean, and
So don't listen to naysayers is what
yeah,
I'm saying.
take it to the next level. And I mean, yeah, don't spend all your, your life's dream away in cash on something. But I mean, slowly make it make sense. I mean, like that planner thing. Like I stick to my planner. That's like my organized thing where I can stay in the loop and kind of like know what I'm doing, but like make a plan, whether it be on a piece of paper, an Excel sheet, or circle. I'm a big believer in circle maps. Make you little like points to go out, and then like this kind of connects to this, and then this connects to that, and like make it all like. So I guarantee you somewhere in there you can find something that has to do with like a career field or something that obviously is your passion because you're putting it in a bubble, but like you can kind of connect the dots, and I
So you
guarantee
can start figuring out who you are by
Yeah.
just figuring out what your interests are.
yes,
Okay.
and just I mean,
I think that's really good advice because a lot of people say be yourself, right? But then when just like when you did, like when you get down into the nitty gritty and ask people what that looks like, it's easy to say for us, but it's like how do people do that? That's not you. And it's like you figure out what you're interested in. You don't listen to people who don't believe in you.
right,
Don't listen to those people. Like they're probably not living a life that they enjoy.
right.
Because if they were, they wouldn't be crapping on your dreams. Like people who are living a life that they enjoy don't crap on other people's dreams. That's always people that are miserable.
Yeah. And I think too, I mean, I always think of the positive of everything. Like, if I've had people crap on my dreams, I've had people crap on, hey, you want to make stupid T-shirts, like, but in hindsight, they're kind of just jealous that they're not doing it and you are. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
think like that, and I mean, I just always try to. I mean, I've always had this. I always try to. I always smile. I remember I had an AIM screen name. It was Smiley Frye 22, and because I always was smiling, and I still like to smile.
Oh God, AOL.
I know. Oh, it was great. I mean, that was like my first girlfriend. I think was on AOL. That's awesome.
So keep it positive. Don't listen to negative people, and figure out what your interests are and follow them. I like that.
Yes. Yeah. That's. You summed it up perfectly. That was great.
This is what I do. I'm always like, what is the point in what you're saying?
Yeah, I go.
Real fun for David, who just wants to tell me a story, and I'm like,
Oh yeah. I go in left field, then I'll go around my ass and elbow to get here, and it's
yeah, it's fine.
But
I mean, it's fine.
You wanted to interview me, so
You're right. I did ask you. Like you asked for this.
Yeah. So.
All right, dude.
Oh, me.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for your time, and I'm glad we finally got to schedule this. It was good. You canceled on me one time, I canceled on you. So third time's a charm. So.
Third time is the charm.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, my dude. You were awesome.
Well, I guess we'll see you later, alligator. Stay positive.
Okay, the ending of podcasts are always so awkward, right? Like, anyway, thanks for hanging out until the end, and I hope that it was helpful for you. What do you guys think of the episode? Have you experienced a loss like that too? And how did you guys overcome it? Let me know. Like, I love when people talk to me about these things. So I hope you are well, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Y'all go be good.